feels good to be back on the bike. It's been a long time since I made one of these. By the way, my name is Eric Megatic PC, and I'm riding on my 2013 Kawasaki Ninja ZX-6R. Of course, it's got the 636 cc's of unbridled power. Man, I got a lot to talk about today. We're just, good, because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a motovlog, so there's been a lot going on with this bike here. Actually, there's been nothing going on with this bike for about the last year and a half. But I'll get into that in a little bit. Let's start with the motorcycling landscape of 2019. And it's kind of depressing, actually. I'm out here on my super cool sport bike. But sport bikes, sadly, don't seem to be where it's at anymore. I grew up on 600s. When I started riding bikes, 22 years ago, back in the late 90s, my very first bike was a CBR 600 F2. That bitch had carburetors, it had a fuel petcock, like it didn't even have a light. Like, the way you knew you were getting low on gas is it would just start cutting out. And while it was cutting out, before it completely stopped, what you'd do is you'd be reaching down here, finding the little petcock, and you'd like twist it to your reserve tank. It was some bullshit. But yeah, that was my first bike, and it was a 600. They're light and nimble. I mean, this thing, you can just you just think about where you want to go, and it just goes. It's telepathic. It's got plenty of power, but not so much that it's scary. I mean, yeah, okay. Here I'm sitting in 6th gear at about 5,500 RPM. And if I just whack on the throttle, okay, yeah, nothing happens. But then you get up to about 8,000, and all of a sudden you're going. There's my daily 100. Oh shit, that's Motonosity's thing. I don't suppose he's got that fucking copyrighted. So yeah, that's the big downside to 600 is there's no power underneath 8,000 RPM. But you keep it above 8,000, fucking thing will fly. So it's really depressing to me, the state of motorcycling today, because this class in particular, the 600 class, is just about dying out. I mean, when you talk to biker bros now, you're like, bro, this shit's fire, yo. Bro, dog, check out my fucking leader bike, man. Oh, you know what I want, dude? I want a fucking naked bike. Yeah, I want to get me one of those MT-09s. Yeah, I want to get me one of those dual sports, man. That thing is badass. I hear these dudes talking, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? It's just a completely different landscape than it used to be when I started riding. I mean, back in the late 90s, up to 2010, like, the fucking category it was at was either A, sport bikes, specifically 600s, or cruisers, like Harleys. And I don't know what happened. I mean, I know the economy went shit in 2008. And a lot of bike places closed, a lot of dealerships closed. Like in my hometown, we had like 3 dealerships at one time, and now there's 1. So I know that the economy really hit bikes hard, but now the economy seems to be sort of found its feet again, and motorcycling has found its feet again, and now dealerships are popping up everywhere. But everybody that's buying bikes totally forgot about the 600s. If you're buying a sport bike, you're buying a leader bike, and you may not even be buying a sport bike, period. So many people want to buy these naked bikes. Like, I don't get it, honestly, and you know what? You do you. Like, if you like naked bikes, more power to you. I'm not trying to shit on anybody's opinions, but in my opinion, naked bikes are fucking lame. They're ugly as shit. They look like a regular sport bike that the company just didn't finish. Like they just forgot to put the plastic on it. Here, we'll just slap a headlight that looks like a fucking grasshopper's head on it, and you can give us money for that, and then we don't even have to bother with bodywork. Like that's what these naked bikes are, man. They're sport bikes. They're still sport bikes. They just don't have the bodywork, and they have those pathetic fucking handlebars, like it looks like a fucking bicycle's handlebar with there's one piece, one bar. Looks like my BMX bike. I don't want my fucking motorcycle to look like my old BMX bike that I used to ride around when I was 12. I don't know, that's just me. But, people love these things. Oh, they're so comfortable, dude. Dude, you have no idea, this naked bike is so comfy. That's why I bought it, dude, because it's comfy. Comfy? Motherfucker, you're riding a motorcycle. It's not supposed to be comfy. Being comfortable on a bike is just being lazy on a bike. You're supposed to be uncomfortable so that you're paying attention. That's why I don't like cruisers. I don't want to be sitting on my sofa on a motorcycle. I want to be in attack position. I want to be able to just juke and dive and do whatever I need to do whenever I need to do it. Comfortable. Like, I'm not trying to go 1,200 miles on my bike. If I wanted to be comfortable, I'd get in my fucking car. That's what I don't get. I'm on my bike to ride the bike, not to be comfortable. Okay, anyway, rant over there. The state of motorcycling right now is not conducive to me. It's not something that I like. Oh, check it out. This is the Altamaha River. See it over there. See it back there. I'm in beautiful South Georgia. It's a big river. Back on topic. This motovlog is not just a platform for me to rant about other people's opinions that may or may not be my own. I'm actually using this video as an announcement. Oh yes, you should all creep forward in your seat in anticipation of what I'm about to say, because it's huge. It's not really huge. I'm just kidding. It's funny because I just spent 20 minutes or how long I've been ranting about 600s dying out and nobody's buying them, and yeah. Well, my announcement is that I am selling my Ninja. Yeah, I'm selling it. It's been an amazing motorcycle. Look, I've got 22,451 miles on it. This bike had 1 mile on it, one single mile on it when I bought it. Now it's got 22,451. So in those 5 years, I've put 22,450 miles on it. It's just a little bit of math for you. And look, I don't even have a calculator. I mean, when I first got this bike, you couldn't take me off of it. If I was going anywhere, it was on this thing. I rode through fucking rain, fucking crazy cold, 110-degree days, muggy ass, fucking thunderstorms. I saw a tree get hit by lightning while I was on this bike. Fucking scared the shit out of me. I mean, I rode this thing everywhere. And I loved it. God, I fucking loved it. It was great. But, circumstances are circumstances, and the bike started needing stuff. Like, it needed a chain and sprockets, and it needed a new battery, and it needed tires. I just didn't have the money to spend on it, and so, I slowly stopped riding it. The last time I rode this bike before this video was April of 2018. This bike has been sitting in my garage for 16 months, and all that was really wrong with it was the battery was dead, and I just didn't feel like replacing the battery. because, you know, I figured, like, well, I put a new battery in it, but it still needs tires and a chain and all this stuff. You know, it needs like $700 worth of stuff, and I'm not going to have $700 to spend on it anytime soon. I just didn't ride it. It's been sitting in my garage, collecting a not so thin layer of dust and kind of dirt and grime. I don't know how it got so dirty just sitting in the garage, but it damn sure did. It was filthy. And this past weekend, you know, I finally got my financial shit straightened out over this past couple weeks. I got some debt paid off, and I'm making some good money at the job again. I've got myself in a good financial position now, so I went ahead and bought a battery and a battery tender for the, oh, what cows? Moo! I'm such a fucking child. I'm mooing at the fucking cows. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I've got the bike running now. Clearly. No, really, somebody's just pushing me right now. After 16 fucking months of sitting there, I hit the starter button after I put the new battery in, and it started up like I had been riding it that day. I mean, it just turned on. And I mean, it's just running like a top. Now, the other stuff that I mentioned, here's the problem. The other stuff I mentioned still needs to be done. The tires that I'm riding on right now are probably borderline unsafe. That's why I'm not like fucking going crazy, getting on it. That was another reason why I stopped riding, is because I didn't have money to buy new tires. But the thing is now is I'm selling the bike, so there's not really any need to put tires on it. But then again, while I'm riding it, it'd be nice to have new tires. I'm actually just riding around looking for a cool place to put the drone up. I got the drone with me, and I wanted to get some cool, you know, B-roll of the bike. Because this video, the announcement that I'm selling it, I have an opportunity to say goodbye to what has been just, you know, an amazing motorcycle for me. You may be asking yourself, well, Eric, why are you selling it though? Like, I mean, are you getting out of motorcycling? I mean, what's going on? And clearly, I'm not getting out of motorcycling. I am replacing this bike with a new bike. And I guess, well, okay. I'm not even buying a new bike. I've already bought the bike. I've already bought the new bike. Oh man, how do I explain this? Okay, I went up to the dealership and I wrote them a check. And I bought the bike. I have a bill of sale. But you know, you're probably sitting there watching YouTube right now and saying like, but yo, Eric, if you bought a new bike, then what the fuck are you doing riding this bike? Like, why are you out on your old bike if you just bought a new bike? Okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, so I bought the bike, but I don't have it yet. So what I did yesterday was I wrote the check for the bike and I gave it to the guy, the dealer. But he didn't have it. He didn't have the bike that I wanted. He's got to order the bike from the manufacturer. So let me sort of back up a little bit. All right, so it's 2019. So all the dealerships have like 2019s of, you know, whatever. You know, if it's a Kawasaki dealership, they've got ZX-10s, ZX-6s, they've got Vulcans and Versus and all these fucking Kawasaki's, and most of them are 2019s. There's, you know, 2018s from last year that are still sitting in this warehouse that just never got sent to a dealer, never got allocated for sale, and now they're like leftover 2018s. But they're still like in the crate, you know, they're still brand new. They didn't get sold, and now it's another year. And of course, the dealers don't generally want to get these older bikes because they want to sell the newer bikes, because the current year models, they don't have to discount as much or at all. They can sell them for sticker. I got to talking to him, and I asked him if he could get a hold of any of the leftover 2018 models, because in this particular bike, and I'm going to leave you guessing. I'm not going to tell you what I bought, because I want it to be a surprise for when I actually get it. The 2018 model of the bike that I bought is exactly the same as the 2019. There were no changes for 2019. It's exactly the same bike. And he's selling me that bike, the same exact one as the 2019, for $13,000. So, once you throw in tax, tag, title, prep, shipping, all that stuff, it came up to $15,400. I think it was $15,405. And so, I wrote him a check. But that's the thing, is that, like, I'm saving almost $2,600 just because I'm buying a leftover 2018, and it's exactly the same bike. There's no difference. That's not like, I've got to pay tax on top of that, and that's including tax, everything. I go up there, when he gets the bike in, they're going to hand me the keys, and then I'm going to ride off on it. Like, it's a done deal. I've already paid for it. Kind of just realized it. I went on this big, long rant about 600s, and I'm selling my 600. I'm not getting a naked bike, though, okay? It's not a fucking naked bike. So I'm not being that hypocritical. It's another sport bike. I will go ahead and give you this much. Although, considering I told you how much it is, I'm sure you didn't think that it was a 600. It's clearly not a 600. It is, in fact, a leader bike. It's a done deal. I have the bill of sale. The contract is signed. He said it would take about 2 weeks to get in. He's got to he's already contacted the manufacturer, and they have several 2018s new in the crate, ready to go, which is great. Saves me some money, and I'm really excited. I mean, this thing is fucking badass. Like, I love my Ninja, I really do. I spent the beginning of this video telling you how much I love this bike, and I fucking love this bike. And I'm not going to a leader bike because I don't feel like this bike is fast enough, because it's definitely not that. I'd be lying if I didn't, if I said that I didn't care at all about, speed or power. But there's also other things about leader bikes that, because the manufacturers aren't selling many 600s anymore, they're not really putting any effort into updating their 600s. And so as a result, if you want cool shit like the IMU, lean sensors, wheelie control or launch control or cruise control, fucking whatever, TFT display, like if you want any of that stuff, you pretty much have to get a leader bike. But it is what it is, if you want all the goodies, you want all the toys, you gotta get a leader bike now. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. I mean, there's other advantages to leader bikes. If I'm on the freeway and I'm doing 80, then I'm at 7,500 RPM on the freeway, just cruising. On a leader bike, they're geared taller, and you don't have to have the engine buzzing around so much, which is nice. I have got to figure out where I can put this drone up. Where would be a good place to set up? And of course, it's rained up here, and I just washed the bike. Doesn't that happen every fucking time? Like, literally every fucking time. All of a sudden, it's not so farmlandy. It's much more fucking shit ton of trees. What is this? That looks pretty farmy. Maybe we've got a winner here. Let's see. You know what? I think this might work. Let's do it. Let's fucking just do it right here. Helps if you're in gear. Definitely helps if you're in gear. Alright. So, I will come back after I fly my drone. This is like the perfect time. You know, I was trying to hit up, you know, right before sunset. Kind of that golden hour. And you can see how it's like gold. That's why they call it gold. Anyway, hopefully I get some decent drone footage, and then I'll edit that into the video. But I'll be back.
I'm standing here for God. escape.